Hey guys, what's up? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video, and this is probably going to be one of the weirdest reviews I've ever done because it was one of the weirdest games I've ever been to, and really what I want to reflect, because I think it is something that people who weren't at the game, Chelsea fans, opposition fans as well, who of course weren't at the game, are very interested to know what it was like in the stadium, what the atmosphere was like, because it was a very weird one. I've never experienced something like that as a fan. Also, my emotion towards the game was something I've never experienced as a Chelsea fan. Very weird, and I think it does. I want to reflect to you the response of the fans, also why for me the response was justified, and also the reasoning behind it. Now, I think the performance itself of the players was really relevant today. What happened on the pitch, I think, was very relevant to the response of the fans, because I really think Chelsea players, as I said in my FIFA predicts, couldn't have won today. Because if you look at it on paper, for a large majority of fans, if we would have lost today or drew today, it would have been bad for them, because of course we're not supposed to be drawing, and losing to a team like Sunderland, it would have been such a bad effect as well, because people would have been thinking, we've lost, you've sacked Jose, nothing's changed. If we would have won really comfortably, like 4 or 5-0, fans would have been very upset, because they feel like the players have betrayed Jose, and I think we're somewhere in the middle of that. The fans very clearly expressed their emotion today. Number one, of course, we didn't want Jose Mourinho to be sacked. We continued to sing his name. Also, the fans were very disillusioned and disconnected with the game. That's why I mean it was a weird atmosphere, because you had home players being booed, very little celebration when all of the goals went in, certain players being cheered but others not. It was just a very weird atmosphere, and it was one of not caring. But I think people, in a way, were disillusioned, not because they don't care about the club. It's because they feel like a large chunk of the club has been taken out now, Jose Mourinho, and they feel very disconnected with those players who seem to now be showing that it was all down to Jose, that those players intentionally were underperforming because of the fact Jose Mourinho was in that dugout, and that for me is completely unacceptable. Where have they been since August, as the song was going today? And I think it perfectly epitomises Chelsea fans' response. Where have you been? You've let us, the fans, down. You let Jose down. You've let the reputation of the club down. And you know that's one thing that was very painful for fans today, because it was very mixed emotions. Because one, we love seeing our club win. That's the most important thing as a fan, seeing your club win. It's such a double-edged sword, because in a way I'm unhappy with those players. I feel like I've been betrayed by those players. I thought that those players were intentionally not putting in the effort, and now that Jose, who we all love so much, has gone, they decide to turn up. As I say, I think the players themselves were never going to win today, but at the same time I think it sends out a worrying message of player power. It shows that really managers have no power. If players want to, they can underperform and get a manager out. Now, whether you think that Jose Mourinho should have been sacked or not, don't you think that's a negative, that players now really dictate what happens at a club in terms of the management structure, their performances themselves? And that's the worrying thing for us fans, that those players feel disconnected with the club. Do they actually love the badge they're playing for? Do they actually understand what it's like to play for our club? And as the badge, there were so many banners out today. One of the ones that really stuck with me, there were two which I'll put pictures up now. You should hang your heads in shame. Also, there was another one that was stuck on the face of Eden Hazard on one of the advertising boards outside the bridge, saying "Fight like the fans," and that's what we want, because we haven't seen that this season. I personally, as a fan, feel very mixed emotions, because of course I can sit back now and watch the game again, but it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same as a win. And once again, I know I'm going to get comments saying it's Chelsea FC, not Mourinho FC. I completely understand that. But it's the message the players have sent out, that under Jose, that most of them just didn't care. And that for me is the most painful thing, because those players couldn't even fight for us fans. They couldn't even fight for themselves. They just underperformed because of the manager. And for me, that's unprofessional in many ways. So yeah, I mean, looking at the game itself, I think long term this of course is a good result. I think Gus Hiddink now can come in, hopefully build on this. If the players are going to turn up for him, then fair play, then they're going to turn up for him. And of course, Chelsea fans are very affectionate towards Gus Hiddink. They've all got respect. We've all got respect for him, really. We have no bad feelings towards him, so it's not going to be like a Benitez situation. People will respect Gus Hiddink, and hopefully he can do a stable job, get us in somewhere into the top half at the end of the season, which I think he can do. But yeah, no more dynasty of Jose, and it felt very weird today. Probably this is the worst going to get. It wasn't hostile as I think, but a load of fans just really didn't want to go today because it was a very negative vibe. And luckily, I think today that's probably going to be the worst of it, hopefully. But that's my opinion, guys, and I hope that I've been able to reflect to you the emotion of today. If you go back and see the highlights, I don't know how well it's going to be reflected on TV. So really, that has been my review. As I say, it's not just technically about the game itself. It's more of an analysis of the way the fans are feeling. But that's what I took away. And I hope maybe other fans who were at the game can express their opinions where they were sitting differently to me. You know, maybe they saw a different view. Leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much as well. I've got a cough, but thank you guys so much for your continued support on the channel. Your continued the rise in subscribers is really brilliant, and the consistent good response to my videos as well. I really do appreciate it, guys. So we are coming up to Christmas now. I've kept to my promise. I'm uploading every day, and I've got some really good videos lined up for coming up to Christmas. So thank you guys for watching this video. Follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea, and as always, I'll see you again.